Rise and crime, everybody.
Welcome back to week 3.
I'm Rachel Souza.
And I'm Michelle Chan.
And we didn't introduce ourselves last week.
Oh.
That's okay. You know who we are.
It's okay, it'll be in the bio.
Oh, yeah. Follow us. Mostly, please subscribe to us.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Do it. What? It's free.
It really is free. The only thing it could do is make us money.
Yeah.
Not for a long time, because right now we have like 300 views.
Yeah.
But like...
One day.
So just subscribe now, and then you'll be like...
You can be like, I was with you when you had 10 subscribers. Like right now.
Well, you already wouldn't, because we already have 14.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay, so local case, hit us with it.
All right. Are you ready?
No.
Well, you're about to be. Okay. On Friday, February 23rd in 2018, at 1 a.m., the Hamilton police were called because there was a disturbance at 592 Upper James Street.
So we're in Hamilton.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there was just a list. Like, there's yearly lists of weird crimes that happen in Hamilton.
Hamilton, you people, if there's anybody listening to this from Hamilton, please stay safe.
Why, though? I don't understand why it was just Hamilton. It was
So
like
I guess Hamilton's
CBC,
wildin'.
but it's so weird. Okay, anyways. So, witnesses identified a man as assaultive, and he left in a cab. That's who called in the police. So, the police then pulled over the cab that was like a short distance away. And then that's when things get weird.
Okay.
So, when they get close to the cab, the dude in the back seat jumped from the back seat into the passenger seat to start threatening the officers.
Wow.
Yeah, bold. And then after that, he jumped on top of the driver and he's trying to steal the car while he's on top of the driver.
So he's trying to steal this cab
Yeah.
while the cab driver's driving while the police are there.
Yeah.
This is the definition of genius.
Or drugs.
Nope. Genius. This is the best plan. There's no way this could go wrong.
And then so the cab driver is just struggling under this man, and he like
So silly.
and he pulls the keys from the ignition. So
Smart.
that's what
Good
he
move,
does.
cab driver.
So then the police were quickly able to control the man and arrest him, and they were like minor injuries, but like they got it under control.
It's just funny to think about a man underneath another man trying to stop the man from on top the man steal the car.
It's so funny. When I was researching it, I couldn't stop laughing. But it's not that long because that's the end.
Well,
Because the man was charged with assault, mischief under $5,000, and failing to comply with his probation. I don't know what caused that probation, but he's 33 and he had no fixed address, so maybe he was a person that was homeless.
okay. Well, Hamilton, cab drivers, thanks for being smart and figuring out how to...
Take the keys out of the ignition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on ya. He
Yeah.
was ready.
That was strange.
Okay, our big case this week comes from none other than the city of Markham. It's just north of Toronto, and 2 weeks ago, I said not a lot happens in Markham. Apparently I was wrong, because this happened only like 5 years ago. So
Yes.
this is recent-ish. Okay, so it's the story of Jennifer Pan. Some of you may have heard this story. It's been covered by other true crime podcasts, by some true crime YouTubers. I've seen it being covered, and it's like pretty well known in the Markham area.
Yeah.
But for those of you who do not know, here it is, and it's a crazy one, so buckle up.
It'd be wild.
So, Jennifer Pan, born June 17th, 1986, to refugee parents, Bic and Han. They're from Vietnam. So, they moved to Canada because they wanted their children to have the best possible life they could. So they lived in Unionville, which is a little suburb of Markham. So she lived there with them and her brother Felix, who is 3 years younger than her. So her parents like really, really wanted their kids to succeed in life, so they worked really hard at their jobs and they saved up as much money as they could for their children, and they just had really high expectations of their kids. They wanted them to do well because they moved across the world for them to do well. So I guess that makes sense. But this also meant they were very strict, but it's just because out of love, like they really just wanted their kids to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So Jennifer was a really successful kid. She really followed this. She was doing piano since age 4, and she had tons of trophies and awards. And then they also had her in figure skating, and she was set to compete in the 2010 Olympic Games.
Damn.
But just before then, she tore a ligament in her knee.
Oh.
So she wasn't able to skate after that. So all of this pressure that her parents put on, and from piano and figure skating, this is still elementary school. She was already, like, severely depressed and, like, self-harming and stuff. So which is a lot for somebody that young.
It's
a lot for anybody, but yeah, so this was already getting to her at that age. So then she started at Mary Ward Catholic Secondary School for high school. That's in Scarborough. It's like right on the border of Markham and Scarborough. She was said to seem quite normal, social. She did swimming. She did wushu, which is a type of martial arts.
Wushu?
And she played
Wushu?
Wushu.
I've never heard of that before.
Well, now you have. Jennifer Pan did it in high school.
She did wushu.
And she played the flute. Her parents kept their strict rules through high school, so she wasn't allowed to date, she wasn't allowed to go to parties, she wasn't allowed to go to school dances. The only extracurriculars she was allowed to do were the ones that were monitored by her parents, so like playing the flute or like swimming. She had friends, and she would complain to her friends about how strict her parents were, but she wasn't allowed to really go out with them and stuff like that. So her friends were always like, oh man, your parents are super oppressive. And she was like, yeah, the worst, I hate my mom, you know.
Does she
teen stuff.
Was she known to hate her parents?
Well, she was known to complain about how strict they were. Like, not necessarily hate, but she was just like, oh man, no, sorry, can't come to that school dance. My mom said no.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough.
You know, one of those.
I know a lot of people like that.
Yeah, so in grade 11, she met a boy named Daniel Wong. He was in grade 12, she was in grade 11, and they became good friends. And then with band, they were both in the band. They went to Europe on like a school band trip, as a lot of high schools do. And she had a really bad asthma attack while she was on this trip in like a music hall because there was a bunch of people smoking. And he took her outside and like calmed her down, and she was like, oh my gosh, this guy saved my life. He's the love of my life. The article literally said it meant the world to her that he had saved her life.
I mean, I think it would mean the world to anybody if anyone saves your life.
Yes, I agree, but now they started dating.
Like earlier today, how you saved your own life.
Yes. When Michelle almost tried to poison me with peanut oil.
It wasn't
I'm kidding.
intentional.
She didn't mean to. Anyways, so they started dating after because she was just like, oh my gosh, this man saved my life. He's clearly the love of my life.
Clearly the one.
He's clearly the one. But this went directly against her parents' orders because they said no dating, and she was like, dating him anyways. Can't say I haven't been there or done that, but eventually the guilt gets to you, and then you're like, hey mom, I have a boyfriend type thing. But alas, that did not happen for Jennifer Pan. New drinking game. Every time I say alas, drink. I'm sorry, audience, you will be drunk. Anyways, so during high school, she wasn't getting the grades her parents wanted her to get. So they wanted her to get high 80s, 90s, and she was getting 70s. And 70s are not bad grades, let me tell you. They're fine.
They didn't want like straight 90s or high 90s?
They just were expecting higher than 70s. It doesn't say exactly what they wanted, but I assume they want 90s. Like, who doesn't? But no, she was getting 70s, which did not live up to her parents' standards. So she started forging report cards to show that she was getting straight A's.
Wait, side note, her theory teacher was my theory teacher.
Really?
Yeah.
Like her piano theory?
Like, yeah, her piano theory teacher was also my piano theory teacher. He's in the book.
Oh,
there was a book written about her, and like one day I was in the lesson, and then the book was there, and then we were asking about what this book is, and he's like, oh, I'm in that book because she used to be one of my students.
That's
and I was like,
crazy.
Oh my god.
Personal connections.
I know. And there's like pictures in the books and stuff.
I also know a girl who lived on our street. Just personal connections.
Yeah.
Anyways, where was I? She was forging report cards. So then in grade 12, she was applying to a bunch of universities, as you do in grade 12. And she got early acceptance to Ryerson, and she accepted it because she didn't get in anywhere else. And her parents really wanted her to go to U of T. I can relate to this.
Wait, what was it for? Like, what's
so
her
she
major?
got into Ryerson for science.
Okay.
But her parents really wanted her to go to U of T for pharmacology. So she said that she was going to do 2 years at Ryerson and then transfer to U of T's pharmacology program. That's what she told them her plan was, and they were like, that's great. As long as you end up at U of T Pharmacology, we are happy parents. But this did not happen. She actually failed calculus in grade 12, causing her to not be able to graduate because she didn't have enough credits. Her parents were so happy about her getting into Ryerson and going to go to U of T after that she just decided to fake university. So she bought a bunch of textbooks, science textbooks. She forged OSAT papers.
Oh.
She told them she got a $3,000 entry scholarship. And she also would watch videos based on subjects that she would be taking in order to have dinner table conversation, just telling them what she learned.
Wow.
So she really went for it. She was really
Did she,
holding up
like,
this lie.
keep her parents paying for her tuition?
No, she just said OSAP covered everything because they were immigrants.
Oh.
Yeah. So she, instead of going to university, she was actually working at a cafe and teaching piano full time.
Piano teachers make good money.
They do.
Like,
so she was making good money.
Yeah, like $50 an hour. Yeah.
So 2 years into this lie, it was time for her to transfer to the U of T pharmacology program. So that's exactly what she did. She went home and told her parents, hey guys, I got into U of T pharmacology and I'm starting that. And her parents were so proud of her that they decided it was time for her to like spend some time out of the house. So they decided that she would be allowed to live 3 days a week at her friend Topaz's downtown because commuter life is hard. I can relate. Commuting's the worst thing ever, especially from Markham to Toronto. Can directly relate. So they decided that 3 days a week she would be able to live there to be closer to her classes. And she was over the moon about this. But of course, she was not staying with Topaz. She was going up to Ajax to live with Daniel for those 3 days because she was still dating him. It's 4 years into their relationship now.
Okay. Does he know about this?
He knows all of her lies.
Okay.
But she would lie to her friends as well. So he was the only one that really knew the full truth.
So she would pretend she's going to university to her friends as well.
Yeah.
Even to Topaz?
So, Topaz, we'll come back to her later, but she actually was not in on this lie at all.
Oh.
Which sucks because she told her parents that she was staying with her.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Anyways, 2 years even later. So she faked this pharmacology program for 2 years. 2 years later, graduation. So Daniel had hired someone to fake her entire transcript. And she told her parents that the graduating class was too large to actually have a ceremony. Or there was not enough seats for them to be there. So that was her excuse for them not going to her graduation. And so she showed them her transcript and they were like, wow, congrats, girl.
Wow.
But now she has this fake degree and her parents are like urging her to get a job. So she's like, shoot, you gotta come up with something else.
Yeah.
So she told them that she started volunteering at Sick Kids.
Okay.
And eventually her parents were starting to notice that she didn't have a hospital badge or a uniform for Sick Kids, even though she said she was working in the blood lab where you would definitely need specific clothing to wear. They noticed she did not have anything, so they started to become really suspicious.
Is she still a piano teacher and waiter?
Yes, she started working at the East Side Mario's in Markham.
Oh.
It's by the mall. I've been there.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I've
you've been there
once.
You've
I got a
been there.
stomach ache and then I never went back.
Same.
Whoa.
Weird.
Parallels.
Anyways, so they noticed she didn't have any of this stuff. So one day they followed her to work. They tailed her, and when she noticed that they were following her, she like ran into the emergency room of Sick Kids and like hid there so they couldn't find her. And then they thought that was really weird that she was like running from them. So they went home and they called Topaz and they were like, Topaz, girl, how's Jennifer holding up when she stays there? And Topaz was like, I have no clue what you're talking about. Jennifer has never stayed here.
Oh man. She should have just told Topaz that she needs a cover.
She really should have, but alas. So when Jennifer finally went home, she had to confess most of her lies to her parents. So she had to confess that she had never been to U of T pharmacology. She didn't volunteer at Sick Kids, and she was actually staying with Daniel. She did not tell them that she didn't graduate high school or go to Ryerson, though. She kept that lie.
Wait, she didn't graduate? Oh, she was missing a credit.
Yeah, she was missing
I thought she just didn't get
credit.
into university.
No, so she didn't graduate from high school even.
Wow.
So her parents were obviously crazy mad.
Yeah.
Her dad wanted to kick her out and never see her again, but her mom tried to help her, saying like, no, let her stay. And her dad took away her phone, her laptop, and forbid her from seeing Daniel and made her quit all of her jobs. And they also started tracking her car. Like, they were on her. And keep in mind, she's 24 years old.
So what does she do? Like, if she can't work or do anything?
So imagine being 24 and your parents taking away your phone.
It's really sad.
No phone for you. Like, you're 24.
Yeah. Can you imagine lying for 4 years?
About going to university? Like, that's a
About
crazy lie.
graduating twice.
That's a crazy lie.
Those are big lies.
So her mom, like I said, was trying to help her. She would even tell Jennifer where her phone was so she can go and check her messages and stuff. So her mom was being really sympathetic. Mm-hmm. Because I guess her mom kind of realizes she's a full-grown adult.
Mm-hmm. So does she just sit at home and do nothing?
I guess, well, they wanted her to start applying to colleges and stuff, but because they didn't know that she didn't finish high school.
Yikes.
So she was also trying to get her calculus credit.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And then I just wanted to put this in here because I think it's really funny that she's 24 and posting this on Facebook. There's a quote, and it says that she posted, "No one person knows everything about me, and not two people put together knows everything about me. I like being a mystery."
Okay.
I just thought that was funny.
It's a little cringy.
It's very cringy. Can you imagine going on Facebook and seeing like your friend, your good old friend Jen from high school?
Can you imagine being 24 and still being cringy?
Yes, I will be. So then eventually she would have to sneak out to see Daniel because she was still so in love with him that she wanted to stay with him. So she would like do the classic puts pillows under a bed sheet to pretend you're in bed and sneak out of the house. Could you imagine having to do that when you're 24 years old?
It's so sad. I think everything is more sad because she's 24.
It is more sad because she's 24, but also she deserves all of this. Mm-hmm. So Daniel started getting really fed up with her having to sneak around because they are 24 and 25. And he broke up with her. And he started dating a new girl named Christine. And Jennifer was not happy about this. She was so in love with Daniel. So she decided to tell Daniel that some men broke into her house and gang raped her. And also she was mailed a bullet. And she told Daniel that all of this was from Christine.
Oh my God.
Telling her to stay away from her man.
She told Daniel that she got raped?
Gang raped.
Oh my God.
And she told Daniel that Christine had sent it all to her to tell her to stay away.
Oh my God. People who lie about getting raped are the worst people.
And just like, that's some crazy stuff.
That's fucked up. Oh my God.
So Daniel actually believed her.
What kind of people does he know? Like, what kind of person is Christine that Daniel would believe?
The funny part is, Daniel knows all her lies.
Yeah.
Like, does he not realize?
Oh, man.
And they started, like, flirty texting again and getting all back to how they were, you know?
Mm.
So, now fast forward, spring 2010. Jennifer had this friend named Andrew Montemeyer, and they were talking about how much they hate their dads. You know, you get in the car with your friends and you're like, wow, I hate my parents, as people who are 24 do with their friends on daily occasions. And Montemeyer had even said to Jennifer that he had debated killing his dad before. And Jennifer was like, whoa, bro, sick idea. And she decided that she wanted to kill her dad. So, she knew that Andrew had a roommate named Ricardo Duncan, and she told police, like later in court, she had told police that Duncan had agreed to kill Jennifer's dad for $1,500. But then once she paid him, he stopped answering her and she got ripped off.
Huh.
But Ricardo Duncan says that story is completely fake, that Jennifer called him hysterically one night saying she'd give him $200 to kill her dad just because he was sort of goth and she assumed that he would do something like that.
Because he was sort of goth?
So he was like a goth kid.
Wow.
Like painted nails, stuff like that. Not that that's goth. I'm just saying that's what he was like. And she just assumed because he was that way that he would kill her dad for her. So she gave him $200, which he says he returned. And that her story is fake.
That's awfully presumptuous of her.
Yes.
$200? That's so little to kill somebody.
I know. Okay, so after this happened and she got ripped off, air quotes, Daniel and Jennifer decided that they were going to get more serious about this murder plan. So they decided that they wanted to kill both her parents so that way they could get their $500,000 estate and then live together happily without the burden of her parents being there. And Daniel, he's a sketchy guy. He was like, I know someone. So he calls up his friend Lenford Crawford, aka Homeboy, but I'm just going to be calling him Lenford.
We don't want to refer to him as Homeboy?
I don't want to refer to him as Homeboy. Lenford's just such a great name. And he said Lenford would kill her parents. And Lenford said that he would do, his usual rate was $20,000. But because she's a friend of Daniel's, he'll do it for $10,000. What
Wow.
a nice killer.
What a steal.
Anyways.
$10,000?
So they gave Jennifer an iPhone and a new SIM card to contact them for this murder plot. Halloween of 2013, they scouted the house to just check out like what it looked like and everything. And then 2 days later, I can't count, November 2nd, Daniel called Jennifer and was like, hey girl, I actually love Christine just as much as I love you. And Jennifer was like, what the heck, man? We were about to kill my parents and live happily ever after, and now you're telling me you love another woman? Like, what is going on? He was like, hey now, you're the one who wants to kill your parents. You don't want to kill your parents for me. You want to kill your parents for you. And she was like, no, but if I kill my parents for me and then you leave me, I have no one. So the plot almost got called off, but then like a couple days later they were texting all normal again.
So did he forget about Christine?
Not exactly. They just kind of ignored the fact that Christine existed and went on with life. November 8th, Homeboy texted... I called him Homeboy.
You called him Homeboy?
I'm so mad about that.
That's so funny.
Lenford texted Jennifer and said, game time tonight, which meant tonight is the night. So, November 8th, 2013. Hi, sorry, we paused because I actually didn't think it was 2013, and I was right. It was actually 2010. So, this is all in 2010, not 2013. My bad. Sorry. Continuing on. November 8th, the evening of the killing.
Murder.
The murder, thank you. Killing sounds so bad.
The killing.
8:30 p.m. Han is home. Jennifer is home. Felix, Jennifer's brother, is at McMaster studying engineering, so he is not home.
For real?
Yeah.
Is he actually in university?
Yeah. Oh, for real. Yes. He is not his sister. And Bick, her mother, was out dancing, and she got home at 9:30. So 9:30, David, I'm so sorry, world, Milvaganam.
Hey, it's okay.
David Milvaganam. I'm just going to refer to him as David. David called Jennifer. He was one of Lenford's friends, and he instructed her to go downstairs and unlock the door. So she went downstairs, said goodnight to her mother, and locked the door. At 10:02 p.m., she goes back upstairs. Well, she's already back upstairs, but she goes and switches on the light in the study, which signals to David and Lenford that it's go time. So 10:05, Lenford, David, and a third main 10:05. 10:05, Lenford, David, and a third man named Eric Carty enter the house, all carrying guns. So Bick was still downstairs, so immediately one of them points it at her and tells her to get on the ground. And the other two rush upstairs, one to get Han and bring him down to the living room, and the other to get Jennifer and tell her to pay them. So she gives them $2,500, then takes them to her mother's bedside table, where they find another $1,100, and then downstairs to the kitchen to get her mom's wallet to get the money out of there as well. Meanwhile, in the living room, Bick is pleading to these men to not harm her daughter.
Wow.
How absolutely sad is that?
That's tragic.
In all of this, which is planned by her daughter, she is saying, please don't hurt my daughter, and that breaks my absolute heart. That's just so sad.
It's really sad.
It is so sad.
Imagine how scary that is.
And I can't. It's terrifying. And so sad.
I don't think that I could scream. Like, if someone were to come and attack me, I think I'd be too scared to scream.
Yeah, it's fight or flight, and I would flight so fast.
Yeah.
So also when she was pleading, so she pleaded, don't hurt my daughter, and they actually responded, rest assured, she is nice and will not be hurt.
That's what they said?
Yes. The worst. It's the worst. Han was like asking them like, how'd you guys get in if the door is locked? So he was kind of like, hold up, something's up. He was starting to clue in. So back upstairs, they brought Jennifer and they tied her to a banister of the stairs, and then they took her parents to the basement. And in the basement, they shot Han twice, once in the shoulder and once in the face.
Ooh.
And they shot Bick 3 times in the head.
Oh.
So after Jennifer heard these gunshots, she called 911. And 34 seconds into this call, the unthinkable occurs. You can hear Han actually moaning in the back, like climbing up the stairs.
Oh man. Wait, what happened to the 3 people?
They fled. They ran. They
fled?
shot and they ran.
Oh.
So Han stumbles outside and actually finds a neighbor who's obviously terrified. This man just got shot in the face.
Yeah.
And the neighbor calls 911, and Han gets ambulanced to Markham Stouffville Hospital and then airlifted to Sunnybrook, which is in Toronto. And he actually survived.
That's good.
Being shot in the face.
That is crazy.
Unfortunately, Bick was killed instantly when she was shot 3 times in the head. And, that's double
so
breaks
sad.
my heart, because she was the one who was always, like, sticking up for Jennifer.
Yeah. How could you do that? Just no empathy.
Your own parents. Ugh. Such a gross human. Ugh. Anyway, so that night, the York Regional Police interviewed Jennifer, and then again, they interviewed her 2 days later, and they asked her, how in the world did you call 911 when your hands were tied behind a banister? So they were like, what the heck, man? That's not possible. And she, like, showed them how she, like, supposedly contorted her body to get her phone out of her pocket and call 911. But it's kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
So police are starting to find lots of things wrong with her story, such as why was she not killed? And they began to start surveillance on her. November 12th, so this is 4 days after the break and enter, Han woke up from his medically induced coma. And he remembered everything.
Whoa.
He remembered the men chatting with Jennifer as if they were all friends. And he also remembered the fact that when they were walking her around the house, her hands were not tied up. They were just behind her back. So he remembered, like, little details, this guy. So they started to realize that we should probably be watching Jennifer even closer. So November 22nd, they brought her in again. And this time, the lead detective on the case told her, we know you're involved with the case. You might as well just confess. Which I'm not sure how legal that is.
I mean, you can tell them whatever you want. Isn't that how they interrogate people? They
guess
just
so.
say, like, oh, your friend already told us everything, you might as well confess.
Yeah, true. I don't know the police system. I'm sorry. I'm uneducated.
Wait, question. Do they have a recording of the 911 call that she made?
I couldn't find it anywhere. But
I want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it. I don't think I could.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, it sounds bad, but I like looking at stuff like this. Like, I like people trying to fake something.
Oh, yeah, because she's faking the
Yeah,
911
it's
call.
really interesting.
I just, it gives me the chills literally thinking about it. So they brought her in and they told her, we know that it was you. You might as well confess. And she, over the span of 4 hours, she concocted this whole story about how it was actually a plan to kill herself, but she didn't have the strength to kill herself, so she hired someone to kill her for her. But then in a phone call with, she said it was Homeboy, and she said she didn't know his real name. So she said in a phone call with Homeboy, she said that her and her dad now have a better relationship, so she wanted the plan to be gone.
She didn't want to kill herself.
Yes, she decided that she did not want to kill herself anymore. But something got mixed up and he ended up killing her parents.
Okay, she's not very smart.
Yeah, the police instantly arrested her.
Oh, I think I saw these text messages between her, Daniel, and Homeboy.
Yeah, there's like 100
I know,
of them from
like,
just the day of.
They just make no sense.
So they arrested her right then and there. Good job, police, for seeing through that.
So stupid.
And they went through her texts and they found all the other. They arrested David and Eric and Daniel and Lenford, and all of them pleaded not guilty.
Really? Still?
Every single one of them pleaded not guilty, which is why it had to go to this whole long trial.
Oh man, they are not the brightest bunch.
Yeah, no. The trial did not start till March of 2014, and it was supposed to be like a 6-month trial, but ended up lasting 10 months. in which Jennifer just continued to say that she didn't want them to kill her parents, that she didn't conspire to murder her parents whatsoever. And every single one of them took the stand and said, no, we did not want to kill her parents.
Was this a jury decision or was it judge?
Jury decision.
Oh, okay.
And it is even reported that while the jury was deliberating, Jennifer seemed joyful, as if she thought she was gonna get away with it.
She really is not that bright.
No, she did not get away with it. She got life in prison with parole in 25 years, with a chance of parole in 25 years. So when she's 52, she'll have a chance of parole, and I don't think she should get it.
No.
But her dad and her brother, who I feel so horribly for them, it's reported that they are like severely depressed now and have moved far away from Markham, but nobody will buy the house. It's still up for sale.
I mean, it's a murdered house.
I know.
I wouldn't buy it.
But I just feel so incredibly bad for them. And they
sucks.
filed a motion through the court system that doesn't allow Jennifer to ever contact them ever
good.
again. It's just, ugh. And could you imagine getting that call, being the brother at McMaster?
Yeah, being the brother, that must be hard.
Yeah, he moved to the East Coast. He couldn't be anywhere near Markham.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's that case.
That
They're all in prison except Eric, who died already.
From what?
It didn't say. He just died in prison.
Oh, good.
Oh. Yeah, so Jennifer Pan, absolute freaking crazy gal who, disgusts me.
Yeah, she's, oh man.
Her parents,
the fact that she thinks that she got away with it.
And her parents literally moved across the world for her to have a good life.
Yeah.
That, pisses me off so much.
Yeah, there's other ways of dealing with this.
So like my closing statement says, so remember, maybe just realize you're 24 and you can move out. Yeah, your parents might be mad at you, but it's more likely you get a relationship with them if they're alive.
And if you're on top of the cab driver, you probably can't steal that car. Goodbye.
Peace out.